All right, let's take a look at data validation. So I have my attendance tab here. I have my names going down in column A, and I have my dates going across. When I come in here, and maybe every day I put in attendance, so I might say that these students are here, so I put in a P for present, and maybe this student is absent, and I have to go in and type in this information. This can be tedious and time consuming. So let's look at a faster way to do this. First thing I do is I go ahead and highlight my cells where I would like to put in my data validation or my drop-down menu. So I've highlighted these cells here, and I will come up to Data, go to Data Validation, and I have a sub-menu that pops up here. From here, I need to decide what I want to put into my drop-down menu. So the default is List from Range, but there's also List of Items, Number, Text, Date, a custom formula, and you can also put in checkboxes if you like. Let's go ahead and choose List of Items. Then in this box here, I'm going to type in what those items will be in my drop-down menu. So let's do a T for tardy, P for present, A for absent, and I'm going to do MED for medical. Down here, I have some other information. It says on invalid data, show warning, reject input. Two options here. If I select show warning, it will let me type in whatever I would like. However, it will give me a small red flag in the corner of the cell to let me know that something is wrong. If I select reject input, this will not allow me to type anything else except for what is available in my option. For here, I'm going to go ahead and select reject input. And I'm going to click on save. Now we notice that I have these drop-down menus for each box here. So if I go here and I say this student is present and this student is present, and maybe this student is absent, this is a little bit faster, but it's not really so fast. So one thing that we can do is if I know that most of my students are present, I can go ahead and select the P in the first row here and move my cursor over until I get the crosshairs, and I can just click and drag that down. It'll go ahead and copy that for me into all of the cells. Then I can go back to an individual student if I need to and change their information to the appropriate category as needed. All right, let's take a look at a different example for data validation. Here I have my tab for writing scores, and I am going to say that I score students based on a rubric, on a 3-point scale rubric, where they can get anything from a 0 to a 3 with 0.5 increments. So I want to be able to have those numbers available for me, and I don't want other numbers to show up. So what I can do is go ahead and highlight the cells here where I want to put that information in. Go back up to Data, Data Validation, and from here I can choose to list a number. Then it says between, not between, greater than. I have all these different options. What I will do for this situation is say between, and I'm going to say between 0 and 3. And here I have, again, the show warning or reject input. I'll go ahead and leave it at show warning. Now, down here it says show validation help text. If I tick on that box, what it will do is give me some information here for the user to say, like, if something is wrong, it will give me a pop-up menu and tell me what needs to be done. So this is the default, or if you wanted to change this to something else, you can go ahead and type in what you would like. I'll go ahead and click on save. Now you notice that there isn't a drop-down menu here. So if I was to type something in, for example, done, it'll let me type it in, but it says that it's invalid and I need to put in a number. So I can go back up here and I can change that to a 3, for example. Maybe this student has a 2, and this student has a 2.5 and a 2. And so I can go through and I can put in my numbers here. The benefit to doing this is if you make a mistake or you accidentally type something in that doesn't make sense, it will give you that invalid rule. If you would like to make it where it would only give a certain list of scores and nothing else. For example, you could type in a 2.4 and it would still be okay, even though you're doing it on 0.5 increments. If you don't want that to happen, go ahead and highlight your cells, go back up to data validation, and instead of a number, you can do list of items if you want again, and you can type in all of your choices and then select reject input. Click save, and it will give you the drop-down menus if you like. If you don't like the drop-down menus, you can go ahead and turn off this where it says show drop-down list in cell. Turn that off and those drop-down menus go away. You'll notice here where it says it needs to be a different input. If I just go ahead and start typing with that reject input, it'll give me that list. And I can click there and type in my scores.